given that it's BOK decision day, I want to start there. Is there further room to run or specific opportunities that you see in Korea, given how much retail money is in and how red hot this rally has already been?
Sure, I think that there are a few things going on in Korea, both in terms of retail money flowing into the equity markets, but also recently regulators allowed investors to short equities as well, which I think is kind of a countervailing force there. But I think that Korean stocks continue to be cheap, and we know that technology companies, semiconductor companies occupy a large percentage of the Kospi. And given the shortage of semiconductor chips in the world, I think that there continues to be room to run there.
What are your favorite semi plays then on the shortage, given that we continue to hear from just about every relevant either consumer or producer that bottleneck and the production issues, the shortage issues will continue?
That's right. I think that the shortage issues will continue for a few years. And this is kind of a double-edged sword, because not only is this beneficial to the semiconductor companies that very much control a large percentage, especially in Taiwan and Korea, but a lot of companies around the world that rely on these supplies from Taiwan and Korea are suddenly starting to think that perhaps they should diversify their supply chains, and perhaps governments around the world are thinking about investing more in foundries for themselves.
And while that happens, of course, concerns over those supply chain disruptions leading to inflation. We have seen this GTV chart on the Bloomberg shows that gold has been really gaining ground in the past few weeks. How do you diversify and really protect against price increases?
I think it makes sense as inflation expectations continue to charge up and we continue to see yields rise. The dialogue from now until the end of the year will be about inflation, inflation, inflation. And I think that it makes sense that investors start diversifying or adding to their inflation hedged assets, especially in gold and commodities and also real estate and tips.
Is cryptocurrency a diversifier?
I don't think cryptocurrency is a diversifier. It's, as we've seen, it's such a volatile asset and not a very good store of wealth.
What do you make of the Chinese rally that we're seeing right now? Will that continue? Because we are seeing more efforts coming from Beijing for targeted measures to really take away the froth.
I think that the 3.5% performance that we saw a couple of days ago, which was the best year-to-date performance that we've seen, that's driven, I think, mostly due to a strengthening RMB and expectations for the RMB to continue to strengthen in the near term, and also some of the regulatory actions against cryptocurrency and also commodity investment speculation. So I think some of that capital is moving over to the Chinese market. I think Chinese markets work in the near term. You have the 100-year anniversary of the CCP coming up on July 1st, and optics are very important. And I think that equities have some room to run in China.